Hi you guys, I am back. I'm back. Please do not kill me. Don't kill me. I know she has not been making any videos. What is she doing? I'm asking her questions. I want med surge questions up. I want pharmacology questions up and whatnot. Please forgive me, guys. On February the 7th, I did pass my boards for my LPN. I am a licensed practical nurse right now. So yeah, it is definitely unbelievable but believable at the same time because I knew this day would happen and I documented my way through the whole thing. I am an LPN currently, and I just want to tell you how I did it, the steps I did to take to get to this place. My school, they did pay $200 towards my boards. That was the pro about this school, was that they paid for it. I had to pay for the license now. I had to pay for the license. I ended up paying $80 for the license and 100 and something. I think it was like 115 for my fingerprints. It was just a lot of steps getting there to take the NCLEX. So $80 for the single state, 100 something dollars for the fingerprints, and I could have swore it totaled up probably about 400 something dollars in total to basically take this NCLEX. After I got the money for that, the nursing boards basically sent me an email, gave me the okay that I can go ahead and take my NCLEX, well basically schedule a day for my NCLEX. So what I did was, it was around January when I had money, they sent me the email. I scheduled for February the 7th. There was a place that was down the street where I could take my boards. I set it up that way because one, there was like the only place where I could take it at a good time frame. Two, I wanted 30 days to basically study for this board exam because I'm not into taking anything twice. I'm not. That's why I went so hard with my LPN. I was not interested in failing because you see how much money, they money hungry. How much money it took to take these boards. I'm not doing that again. So I bought Uworld. I went on uworld.com. And the setup, the whole setup, how Uworld is the exact same when you take your NCLEX. It's white and blue, the bubbles and whatnot. I don't know how to explain it. I'll basically put a video explaining how I did it. I'll just scroll through and show you how it is. I did a few practice questions to look over what it looked like, and I just eventually just took the $139. And basically that consists of 1,200 questions and one assessment. I do recommend everybody, if you can, if your money allows you, to get at least one assessment, which is basically 60 days. You do get 1,200 questions, and then once you feel comfortable enough, you take this little practice test. It's like the real deal. It's 100 questions, and it basically tells you the likelihood of you passing the NCLEX. So it ranges from, the low, not passing, the very likely, high chance of passing. And I did those 1,200 questions, and during that, I think it was like I had about 4 or 5 weeks to prepare for this exam. I was hustling. I was doing about 80 to 100 per day. Now, some days I might have skipped because I was so tired. I was worn out, and I was preparing for school because I'm actually in school right now, trying to do my prerequisites and whatnot. We'll talk about that later. It was just a lot of things that was going on, and I wasn't taking breaks. And so I ended up studying over cardiac. I knew I was good at pediatric. I knew I was getting good at GI. The only thing I was mostly struggling on was like things like endocrine, a few leadership questions, trying to figure out which patients do you need to see first, that type of thing, because those questions, they are so similar within each other. You think you need to see all of them at the same time. So I just went in on those questions that I was struggling on. I even looked at my old test scores from the 12 months that I was doing my LPN during med surg, and I tried to look at the test scores where I was failing in, and I just started studying over those. There was another thing that I did was I went over Nurse RN. Hopefully I'm saying her name right. That lady, I went over her videos. Before I could afford the Uworld, I just went over her videos, and kudos to her. I really like the heart I was going over each S1, S2, S3, S4. I was going over the volumes, the vascular system. I was even going over like diabetic medication and whatnot. Like, she was going in depth, and I even went on her website and I did a few of her questions. And then once I could afford the Uworld, that's when I started going ham on the Uworld questions. So she was helpful for a couple of weeks, for sure. I'll link her below. So back to Uworld, I did those questions, and Uworld is so helpful. I'm so thankful for that. Like, that's a huge investment, is to do Uworld, because they had pictures. Like, I'm like a kid. I need the pictures, and I need the question, and then they had the rationale. And it probably got down to where I was like, I had 500 questions left, and it was getting useless for me to just keep doing questions. So I would do a different method. I would click on the question, and I just started reading the rationale. Like, I just needed to hurry up and finish all these questions. So I just started reading all the rationales to everything that I needed to know. It was more of, don't focus on the question, focus on the rationale, because it's going to tell you what you did wrong, or even if you got it right, it's going to go more in depth of why you got it right, you know. So it was really helpful, and again, I will have a video showing everything like that. So after I did that, I was like, okay, I'm ready to take my assessment practice test. Remember, it's going to tell you the likelihood of you passing the exam. I just woke up one morning, I just went ham on my computer, and I was like, okay, this is getting pretty good. And after that, it told me that I had a high chance of passing the Nclex. So that boosted my ego. It let me know that I was doing something right. And also Uworld, it gives you like a chart of, you know, how you're progressing through the program and whatnot, what you need to do better. So even if I say I had a GI, section that I was doing, and I chose to do 40 questions, and out of those 40 questions, I probably got like 20 right or something like that. It'll put it at the top, and I would eventually click on it again, and I would go over the questions again and again and again and again. I mean, just at random. And the great thing about Uworld is that you can download the app, and the app, you can just take it on the go with you. So there was times I was like at a light, or I was out with some friends, or sometimes before a date or something like that. I was just going through those questions because I was heavily determined on finish this Nclex. So after that, I put Uworld to the side. I said February the 7th. So I went to the building where I take my Nclex. Y'all, when I went to this building, it was huge. It was just like a big sky rising building, and I had my purse with me. They told me not to bring like all that unnecessary stuff like phones and whatnot. Like, I felt like I was getting ready to go to jail. So I had my purse with me, you know. I had my license and everything like that, and I'm looking at the building like, oh my God. That's when it just set in me. That's when I just started getting scared. Like, I wasn't scared anytime before. I wasn't nervous, anything like that, but it was just when I went to that building, and I was just like, this is it. This is what you've been working for. And so after that, I had the nervous pee. I was just sitting in the elevator, and the elevator had mirrors, so I'm just looking at myself like, girl, you about to do this. You about to do this. So the guy, he made me put my purse up. He put my phone in like a little bag, and he zipped it up. I mean, looked around. Girl, it was like they patted me down. There was a girl, she said, can you stand up for me? I said, all right, I got you. She said, can you lift your hair up? I said, okay, I got you. Pat it down. She made me do this. She made me do this. She made me do this. Shake it off, shake it off. I mean, I was like, what's going on? I'm about to go to jail? What's going on? That's what made me nervous about the Nclex, was all of this to take a test. They made me read about 4 pages of how the test is gonna be. Ain't no cheating allowed or whatnot. What will happen if you cheat? It was just like an extensive thing. They made me do my fingerprints again. I did my fingerprints about 4 times. At the desk, at the back, there's a back desk you gotta do. You gotta say your name, you gotta pronounce it right. And then she give you a little paper and then a little pencil. And then she say, tell you about the headphones. There's like a noise canceling headphones that you put on. So I just put that on. And I was like, man, forget this. I'm about to take this test. This ain't nothing. This ain't nothing. I did this. I've done everything. And so I started doing the questions, and I was just like, all right. This is easy, man. This is what I've been studying on. It was like all over cardiac and GI, just the stuff that I've been studying on. And then I got all them select all applies. And I was like, dang, this is a lot of select all applies. But that boosted my confidence because I've read somewhere again, don't quote me, that when the more you get select all applies, the more you're closer to passing. Like every time I had just like a single question, I was like, ooh, I must have got something wrong. But every time the more I had select all apply, I mean, it was like back to back to back. It was probably like 10 of them I had back to back. And I was like, okay, I must be doing something right. So I got to the last question, and it wasn't select all apply. And I was like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? And so it hit 85 and it shut off. And I was like this. Excuse me. And so she was like, you okay? You doing good? You need a break or anything like that? I was like, no, I'm fine. She was like, you can go get your bag. She made me do another fingerprint again. She was like, you'll get your results through email. So the guy got my purse. I went in the bathroom. I'm peeing again. I'm looking at myself in the mirror, and I'm like, wow. Hey, test, done with my test, and I'm confident that I passed. I'm confident I'm an LPN. I got in the car, and I turned my music all the way up because I was just trying to get it out of my head that you failed or something like that. All of this stuff just started happening. I was like, girl, did I fail? Did I do something wrong? It was just all of this stuff that was coming together. And so I got scared. And so they told me like 48 hours, your test should be complete and you should be able to see your results, or at least go on the board and see your name. I couldn't wait. I don't know about y'all. Y'all try to do that little Nclex, what do you call it, trick or anything like that? I did it. I passed the trick. I did that, but that was not enough. That wasn't enough to give me the okay to make me feel better about the Nclex. So I just paid for it. I paid that stanky $8. I did. I paid that stanky $8. Yep. I already gave them $500, and I paid that stanky $8. That's how they get you. That's how they get you. Make you wait, do all this type of stuff. So I passed. I was just sending it to my sister, and she was so proud of me. And I was just like, wow, this is it. What's next? What's next? Like you did something big and you just, okay, now it's another phase. Now I gotta find a job. I have to find a job. I see my name on the board, and now I'm just scrolling through Indeed trying to look for jobs and whatnot. I eventually did find a job. I am a pediatric nurse. But we're gonna talk about that in the next video about these jobs. We're gonna talk about these jobs, y'all. But I just wanted to give you an update that the Nclex is not hard at all. It's quite easy. The only thing that is hard about it is just getting there. That's it. It's just getting there. So if you ask me what I recommend for you to save your dollars. I actually recommend for you, if you're in school right now and you about to finish, give yourself about 3 months. Start saving now for Uworld. Use Uworld. And honestly, that test, I finished that test in like 40 minutes. And they give you like 2 hours, no, 4 hours or something like that. And I finished that in like 40 minutes. So take your time on the test for sure. But I'm just letting you know that this wasn't hard. The only thing was hard was just getting there. So I hope you guys like this video. If you guys have any more questions or anything like that, you can definitely leave it down below. But thank you for watching. I will post another video about what I'm doing now as far as work. So thank you so much. You guys have a good one.